Good afternoon and welcome to CIS 1100. We're in week 3 and I'll be walking through what is required of you by the end of this week. So when you log on the web page through the school Blackboard, this is the information that you'll be presented with, and we have the announcements. Like I mentioned before, I will make sure that I post something at the beginning of the week that will give you an idea about what is expected of you during that week. This is where I posted the information from last week, and for the most part, most of you were able to finish the assignments for last week. So a few housekeeping items. Make sure that you are submitting your assignments by Saturday 11:59 p.m. 2. If you click on Meet Your Instructor, this site has information about my email, my phone number, and the office hours. I know this is a purely online class, but if you happen to be on campus, you can stop by my office on Mondays and Wednesdays between 9:30 and 2. You don't need an appointment. Or you can call me during this time, or you can write me an email, and I'll hopefully get back to you as soon as possible during this period. So make use of these office hours. They are here for you. The other thing I wanted to mention about is on the course document. So this is where you'll find information about the syllabus. We have a hard copy if you want to print, something that you can hold if you go to the cabin and you hiking or something like that. If you click on the interactive syllabus, it has a lot of information about the resources that are available for you on campus. And I think some of you have mentioned something about not getting enough time to do the work. Now we have what we're calling the disability services. So in case you need any type of special accommodation, please contact this office. They'll get back to me, and then we can make some arrangements, and you can get some time or more time on your homework, on your assignments, on your exams. In case you need information on, for instance, technical and background issues with Blackboard, you can call this number 7676, and it doesn't matter whether you live on campus or you live off campus. These are your resources. You are an NCCU student, so they should be available to you wherever you are. As long as you're a registered student, you can call from out of space, and hopefully they'll be able to help you with your issues. Okay, so this week I'm going to walk you through what is expected of you, and there are different ways in which you can get through into the course. If you click on the weekly learning modules, you can come through here, week 3. And like I mentioned before, make sure that you can spare at least 5 hours per week for this class. I'm assuming by now you have your schedule figured out, you have your work schedule figured out if you're working. And now you have a rough idea of how much time you need to allocate to your classes. So for this class, you at least need 5 hours. If you cannot afford 5 hours per week, then you might want to look for other options. But at least 5 hours will be required for you to be successful in this class. For some students, it might be less. For some students, it might be more. So depending on which level you are at. So clicking on week 3 will bring you to the requirements for this week, and you will require to watch a number of videos. Now these videos are optional. If you don't feel like you need to watch them, you don't have to. But anything that is in blue is what is going to be graded. It is what contributes to your grade. So we have a simulation from chapter 2, and we have a project from chapter 2. For the most part, most of you from last week, you were able to hit 100 on the simulation. I think you had some problem with the project, and I'm going to walk you through some of the techniques that you can use to make sure that you are scoring the maximum points on your project. Okay, so let's get started. You'll click on My IT Lab, and this hopefully will take you to the home page for the course. I think most of you have already registered through My IT Lab, but you have not bought the software. You need to buy the access code, because after 2 weeks, if you have a temporary access code, that access code is going to expire and you won't be able to do your homework and your assignments. So make sure before the 2-week trial period expires, you make arrangements so that you can purchase an access code. So this is the course calendar, and it shows you the information and the assignments for each week. And the key thing is, you note that there is nothing that is showing on today's date all the way to Saturday. This assignment calendar is set in such a way that it shows the submission date for the assignments. So that is why I say don't wait until the end of the week to start working on your assignments. Make arrangements so that by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you at least have an idea about what is expected of you. And that way, if you have an issue, you can contact me and I'll be able to get back to you. If you are contacting me on Saturday, either morning or the afternoon, telling me that you have an issue with the assignment, that sometimes might be too late because the assignments are due by Saturday 11:59 p.m. So by Thursday afternoon, my advice is make sure that you at least have a good idea of what is expected. You have the resources. That way, if you have an issue, you can contact me and we have a wiggle room to work on the issues. So by clicking on 27, you'll be presented with the requirements for this week. We have the audio PowerPoint presentation, which you can watch, you can listen to when you're doing some other activities, and then you watch the hands-on exercises for this week. Therefore, we have the soft skills video that will help you be able to develop some of the soft skills that the employers said they are looking for. And then you do your simulation. Once you finish your simulation, then you can come and work on the project. So by clicking on the link for the project, you'll be presented with this page here that gives you the option to download your file, and then you work on the assignment, and then you come back and upload. The key thing is when you're submitting your file, always remember to hit the finish the submission button, because if you click on upload your file and you don't hit this, your assignment will not be uploaded. So down here we have some instructions for what you're going to be doing for this week, but basically what we need to do is we'll click on download the file here. We are given this option for these two files. Click on this link here. Your file is going to be downloaded. Select where you want to store your file, the folder that you have. In my case, I'm going to store it in this folder here. So you click on save. I already have another file here, so I'm going to replace that file with it, and I'll say yes. And that's the instruction file. Then I have the Excel file, and some of you, I think you had a problem last week because you thought that you're supposed to start working afresh on an Excel file. For all the graded project, you'll be given a file from where you start working on. So you click on that, and now I have my two files here. I have the instruction files and I have the Microsoft Excel workbook that I'm going to be working on. So my advice is open these two files, and if you have a large enough of a screen, you can have both of them side by side. Okay, so the best advice is if you can have both of them together on the same screen, that will be good, so that you can adjust this like this, come down here, you can make it bigger, small, I'm sorry, you can make it bigger here, play around with that. So we're assuming at least you know how to work with Windows. That should be the basics of computer applications. The same thing here. So these are your instructions. You can look at the instructions here and then you execute using on this file. So the first thing that we are told to do is download the file. We did that, and then you save it under your last name. So you can come in here and you click on file, you go to save as, and then right here you append underscore, write your name right there. Okay, so we finished the first one. You're not getting any points for that. So create a named range for cell B4, named sales underscore goal. So the first thing you need to identify is the cell B4. So these are the column labels, row labels, B4 right here. So you're being asked to create a named range. If you don't remember what is a named range and how to work with that, you can go to either the hard copy of your book, or if you have the soft copy of your book, and if you open the soft copy, this is how it's going to appear. This is Exploring Excel 2013. Come in here and you can just type named range. So this is just by search. You press the enter key and it will give you all this information. Now we know that this assignment is coming from chapter 2. So you write the first one, come here is chapter 2, formulas, functions. Click on that, and that gives you some information about the range, how to go about working with the range name. And if you move a little bit behind, you can see range names, creating and maintaining range names, creating a range name all the way down like that. And if you move forward a little bit, you can see the instructions for how you go ahead and creating named range. So let's go back to our worksheet and see how we can finish that assignment. So before you click on that, then you'll come to formulas, and you have named range right there, and then is a new one. So you click click on new, and by default, since you have selected that value there, if you didn't have the name right here, you're supposed to type the name here, sales goal, but the system already does that for us. You have sales goal is a workbook, it references the cell before, you click OK, and then you can see it's already created, and now you can close. So we have finished the first part of the assignment. Now you come to insert a function in cell B24 to calculate the total sales for Q1 in column B1. So column B1, Q1 is here. We expect to calculate the total for all these values. So to calculate the total, we can use the sum function. So if you don't know how to work with the sum function, you can come back here and you just type sum, enter, and you're doing Google search. This is chapter 2. You click on that. It gives you information about the sum function, and if you move all the way down here, it gives you different tips about how to go about working with sums. So total of all the scores, that is the sum, and it gives you the range, if you're doing the average, if you're doing the median. So you have all the formulas, and this is what you're calling the functions in Microsoft Excel. So you come back to your worksheet, and there are different techniques that you can use. So if you want to use the sum function, you'll select the cell where the formula should be. You click equals to, and then you can start typing sum, and you have this tip. You double click on that. Is expected to put in the range. You can come to the first one here, highlight all the way to the last one, and you enter. And you see if you click on this value here and you come to the formula bar, it shows you the formula. That's the function. Another way that you can do that is you can just highlight all these values here, and as long as this cell here is empty, you can come to the formulas, do the auto sum, and it's going to put the value for you right there. So if you click on that, you have the value for that. So we have completed this part here. We have 7 points. Then tells you copy the total function from the range C24 to calculate the total for Q2 through Q4. So you just do one, and because Excel helps with automation, you select this and you move up to that, and you have that. So remember, when you have these characters, it means that the numbers don't have enough space, and what you can do is you can come between the cells here, double click, or you can bring the mouse pointer here, hold it down, and then drag the cells to create more space like that. So you're able to view the values. So we have completed those tasks, and now we have another 7 points. So the next one tells us to copy to insert a function in column F to calculate the sales total for each individual sales rep. These are the individual sales rep. We should compute their totals here. So I'm going to make a mistake here so that I can show you how you can go back and make some corrections. I'm supposed to calculate the values for all these, but what I'll do is I'll select only these 3 and then do the sum. And I'll come back here and copy this autofill. You can bring your mouse pointer here, you double click, and it does double click here. Sorry, undo that, because I only want to do from this cell here. Bring the mouse pointer here, double click, and you do the autofill. And now what I'll do is I'll save my file, and I'm going to upload my file. Okay, so to upload my file, I come back to the calendar, click on 27th, and then come back to the assignment down here, click on that link, and the system is a little bit slow. I'm going to leave that. So I'm brought back to this window. I'll click on that, choose your file, select the folder that you saved your file. This is my folder right there, and I'm going to select the file, click open. And my file is right here. Then I'll click on upload. It's telling me to wait for some few minutes for my file to be uploaded. And I have to come back here and click submit. So click return to the class. So I've submitted my file. So I want to see what I got for that assignment. You'll come here to grades. And when you click on grades, it will present you with this window. You can go through the training and projects, and this is chapter 2. So for that assignment, I got 21 points. So I have not passed. So how can I improve my grade? So what you'll need to do is you can go back to the course calendar and then download the file. And let me show you how you go about doing that. Okay, so watch the next video to see how to go about doing this.